Okay, so I want to talk about measurement right now. We're going to be measuring length, okay? And we talked about this before. If you remember, length is it's kind of a fancy way of talking about displacement. And that's just whenever you're going from point A to point B, or whenever you're spreading out an area, or whenever you're displacing something, okay? That's what length really is, okay? So we measure length in meters. And meters are about this big. Now the problem with this is that not everything that we need to measure is this big. Sometimes they're a lot bigger, and sometimes they're a lot smaller. So when we are trying to measure something, we have to choose a fraction of that, or we have to make it bigger in order to measure that. So we have a way of doing this. It's called the metric system. If we have 1 here, 1 meter here, okay, we can start to make it bigger. So this would be 10 meters, 100 meters, 1,000 meters. And we call this kilometers. We call this hectometers. And we call this decameters. Now if we need to get smaller, what we do is we start to split it down in terms of 10. Let's make that a little bit better, a dm. Okay? We will make this, and this is a centimeter. Excuse me, decimeter. This is a centimeter. And this is a millimeter. Okay? Now on our meter stick, if this is 1, there's 10 decimeters in a meter. For centimeters, there are 100 centimeters in a meter. And for millimeters, there are 1,000 millimeters in a meter.
Wow.
So if we get really close, we can see those divisions on the meter stick. This division here, that's 1 decimeter. And there's 10 of these on the meter stick. And it shows. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are decimeters. We have smaller divisions. Here, centimeters. They're about the width of my pinky. There are 100 centimeters on the meter stick. And then the smallest division are all these little lines. These are millimeters. Okay, so as an example of measuring something really small, we're going to measure some beans. And I'm going to show you how you measure something accurately. So if I can get my assistant to take the camera and point it at our little setup over here. Okay, go ahead and point it down like that so you can see it. Okay, make sure you can see the beans and what I'm measuring. So this is a bean. And since it's really small, since it's about the width of my pinky or less, I'm going to choose to measure this in millimeters, okay? Because this will give me the most accurate information as far as measuring goes. So what I do, now make sure that you can see what I do here when I measure this bean. Okay, can you see it, Olivia? Good. I put one end of the bean on this line right here. This is the 0 line. I put it right there, right on the 0 line. And then I look of where it passes. Okay, so it passes the 1 centimeter line or 10 millimeter line, and it goes 1, 2 beyond that. So I have one bean that is 12 millimeters, 12 mm, just like that. Okay, so we'll do another one. Very carefully placing it on. And this one is also 12 millimeters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 marks there, just like that, to show that there's 2 beans that are 12 millimeters. And I'll do the last one. So I put it on there really carefully. And it's just one line past the 10 millimeter mark. So that would be 11 millimeters, and we only have one of those. Okay. So if I were to keep measuring, let's say I had a whole bunch of beans, one way that I could do this, if I'm going to tally up the measurements, let's say I had 3, I just keep adding more. Okay, and then I can cross it, and that makes how many?
5.
5. Okay, so thank you. That is our little video on measurement that I wanted to show you.